Hey guys, it's Arx here and welcome back to my channel. We are back with another Switch review from Invokeys, and today we'll be taking a look and listen on their tactile switches. This is the Blueberry Chiffon Switches, and this is a light tactile inspired by the beloved MX Browns. It's using a box style housing with a long pole stems paired up with a 15mm springs and a bottom out force of 60 grams. Switches comes in pre-factory lube, and I'm very much excited on trying this out as lately I'm into light tactiles. By the way, these switches were sent for a review by Invokeys, but I wasn't paid to make the video, and Invokeys didn't see the final script, so of course I'll give you guys my unbiased and honest opinion about their Blueberry Chiffon switches. So in today's video, it's going to be the usual, but there will be no stock versus lube comparison, as again, it's already pre-factory lube, so only a Soundtest comparison versus other tactile switches, and a short material breakdown. If you all want to hear my thoughts and opinion about the switch, please do stick around at the end of the sound test or check the timestamps. And then speaking of sound test, let's do a quick disclaimer before we start. That the sound and experience will vary depending on your keyboard build, meaning to say that it will sound and it will feel different depending on your keyboard. We of course be using the Vega 65 with a polycarbonate plate, a PCB to plate foam, and one case foam. The switches was pre-factory lube, keycaps that was used was a GMK set, and no post-edit for the sound. So with all of that out of the way, please do enjoy the sound test for the Invokeys Blueberry Chiffon. So that was the sound test on the Blueberry Chiffon switches. Please do let me know on what you think about them on my comment section down below, and let's have some quick discussion. Before we talk about my own thoughts and opinion, you already know what's next. Let's break down the materials that was used on the switch. As you can see, these are a 5-pin switch. and is using an MX style with a dustproof stem housing. So we have polycarbonate for the top housing, nylon on the bottom housing, and of course a long pole palm stem. Lastly, a 15mm springs with a 60-gram bottom out force. And that was a material breakdown for the Blueberry Chiffon Switches, and if you made it up to this point of the video, I would like to say thank you for staying. Again, reminding you that the sound and experience will vary depending on your keyboard build. Now finally, let's all talk about my thoughts on the feel. Well, they kinda nailed it, as it really feels light as the MX Browns and really well executed. It has a late rounded bump that you can feel on the downstroke or when you almost hit the bottom out. The tactility is mad light on these. I'm not really a fan of light tactile, but these are just satisfying. Paired with a long pole and the 15mm springs, you can really feel a solid bottom out. Speaking of the bottom out, the 60-gram is okay and it's decent. It's not too heavy and not too light, it's just in between. But there are some cons though. The pre-factory lube is inconsistent for this, or maybe the batches that I receive. Some of them have enough lube while some of them has that raw plastic feeling when typing. I can feel some leaf crunch, and I also feel some prominent scratches on the switches. I would say if ever you would be getting the factory lube option, I still recommend lubing them and maybe add a little bit more on the leaf or on the rails of the switches. Now let's talk about my thoughts on the sound. It has the smooth, deep sound profile, and I can say that they are a bit muted for my liking in terms of tactile, and actually there are times that I forget that this is a tactile switch, as it sounds surprisingly like a linear switch. Honestly, you can hear a bit of scratches on the switches, but it sounds oddly satisfying. I don't know, some scratches sounds annoying, but some sounds satisfying. Again, unlike the pre-factory lube on their matcha latte, I can say that this has some inconsistency. It sounded a bit all over the place even though it's pre-factory lube, and again, I would say if you have time, try to lube them, but it sounds decent out of the box. Overall, I can say that like tactiles that pays homage to the MX Browns are really an acquired taste. Some may not really like it, while some enjoys it, and that's the beauty of our hobby. It's always about preference. But with that being said, do I recommend this? A bit of 50-50. If you are looking for some tactiles that are quite unique and deviates from the usual tactility, I can say that you can try this out, as personally I really had fun typing on them. I've been using this for over a week now, and I kinda like how light the tactile is. But if you are someone who's really into those heavy tactile and have more pronounced tactile sound, I suggest to skip this and find something else. These are very decent, but again, it's going to be an acquired taste that not everyone may like. And that is it for the video, guys. Let me know on what you think about them on the comment section down below, and I hope you all enjoyed the review. And I also hope you find this helpful. If you do, please don't forget to hit the like button, as it really helps out my channel a lot. So what's next? Well, we have one more Invokeys switches, and we'll be covering the 5-pin switches by Akko and some Apple Maker switches, so better watch out for that. Again, don't forget to hit the like button, share if you want, and of course subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys on the next sound test. Peace.